Stratis. The southernmost island of the Republic of Altus and Stratis, it serves as a militarized forward deployment area of NATO operations in the Aegean prior to the events of the East Wind campaign. Located approximately 18 miles southeast of Altus, it was initially a joint base owned by the AAF operating under the training and advisement of NATO peacekeeping troops following the Altian Civil War of 2030. The island would soon become a critical flashpoint, once again igniting the flames of war. Stratis Air Base serves as the primary seat of operations on the island and is an artificially extended portion of the island built by British surveyor Martin P. Maxwell in the 1980s. A joint construction by British and US engineers, the base provides all the necessary support structures to carry out military operations in the Aegean area of responsibility and is accessible only by a single road from nearby town of Aegea Marina. Capable of hosting up to 3 battalions worth of forces and their vehicles, the base also has enough hangar space to support up to 2 full squadrons of fighters and their support equipment and maintenance personnel. There are also multiple helipads for rotary aircraft as well as a fully operational air control tower that can direct all flight line operations. There is also a fuel depot which holds aviation fuel and gasoline for supporting base vehicles and aircraft, as well as a military use only port for the delivery of heavy armor and reinforcements that couldn't otherwise be delivered to the island via cargo aircraft. The base runway is long enough to support any type of aircraft, giving Stratis base commanders the strategic flexibility they need to successfully wage war in the Aegean. During the East Wind campaign, control of Stratis Air Base was briefly lost to AAF forces as they turned on their NATO counterparts. The remaining NATO forces, led by UK Special Forces Captain Scott Miller, survive on the island and fight AAF forces using guerrilla tactics and non-traditional warfare. Questions arise over Captain Miller's intentions and origin, but are ultimately outshined by the imminent threat of being surrounded by hostile forces. Stratis features only 2 settlements that were habitable but have since been abandoned following the Altian Civil War. The previously mentioned Aegea Marina hosts the only semblance of a modern town on the entire island, which happens to have the only gas station available for civilian vehicles. The other settlement of Girna, located southeast of Stratis Air Base, is an abandoned fishing village with next to no strategic importance. There are 2 smaller operational sites on the island that serve as geographically separated units to Stratis Air Base, which are Air Station Mike 26 and Camino Firing Range. Camino Range is a small weapons training facility for Garrison forces to keep up their marksmanship skills. Everything from rifles, launchers, and precision weapons can be used here and is primarily meant for ground troops as opposed to vehicles. Although vehicles can sit behind the prone infantry firing positions and engage targets in the abandoned village of Camino. Air Station Mike 26 serves as the sole satellite communication lifeline of the island, hosting a large radar dome and multiple communications and intelligence facilities. Controlled and operated by a skeleton crew of NATO troops, the station has since fallen into disrepair due to the declining importance of the region's security. During the initial fighting between NATO and AAF forces, Mike 26 was destroyed by surviving NATO forces to supposedly hamstring AAF's capabilities on the island, though Corporal Carey questioned its destruction following the raise order from Captain Miller, who feared the facility would fall back into AAF hands. Or so we were told. Finally, Stratis is dotted with multiple light garrison installations, which have all been ordered to draw down as NATO begins to withdraw from the island before the coup. LZ Connor serves as the player's introduction to the island as an MH-9 Hummingbird lands to transport you across the island to Camp Rogaine. Rogaine is crewed by a small squad of infantry and a detachment of aircrew for transport Hummingbird access. Camp Tippist is largely abandoned but once served as a security checkpoint near the town of Girna. Camp Maxwell was one of the first 2 NATO installations built on Stratis, but has since been decommissioned and unused for years, falling into disrepair. However, during the initial events of the Eastwind campaign, Maxwell would once again find use by the surviving NATO forces that would lead many attacks against the AAF from here until it was discovered and destroyed on the 7th of July 2035. The base was not salvageable and many surviving NATO troops were killed, and those that survived were turned into walking wounded. Yet through their tenacity and sheer will to live, the NATO troops rallied to take the fight to the AAF one last time. Well guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my first iteration of ArmA 3 lore. ArmA 3 has a lot of interesting backstory and mystery behind the events that take place, and there aren't very many videos out there about it, so I thought I'd make a video and see how you guys like it. If you want me to continue to produce lore videos like this, please let me know in the comments below. I'd like to take a second and thank my incredible patrons, whose gracious support has kept me going. Thank you guys so very much. I'd also like to thank you, the viewer, for watching, liking, commenting, and engaging with me on your thoughts and love for ArmA 3. Again, I hope you all enjoyed this first lore episode, and I will see you in the next video.